What's going on, my peoples? I go by the name of the Sorcerer. I'm now going to be doing a reading. End of the year reading, to be exact, if I'm being honest with you. To be fair with you, I just want to say, massive shout out to the people that have subscribed so far. And I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that's given me a support. So, love, peace, and light to you, as always. But I'm going to be doing an end of the year reading. Let's see what happens. So, I hope it resonates. If it resonates, I hope it helps. If not, send it back to the universe. Energy is fluid. We keep on shining and we stay rising. Let's see what's going on. You know what? Loving the energy, loving the support, loving the messages. It's been very, very, it's been lovely. It's been lovely, I can't lie. Been feeling the love. Ooh, 3 more. Okay, let's go. Interesting. Interesting, I must say. The energy that I'm getting right now is through my intuition, and it's telling me that people are being very sort of like smart in terms of their finances. I think it comes to not just because I spoke about this previously, and it was about like purging, and that's not just purging your friends, but in the essence of you stripping down things that what's really important to you. The trainers that you really want from ASOS, or like I don't know, if you want some Jordans or something, could that wait for another time? I feel like it's a period of you basically asking yourself, what am I actually going to prioritize? And that's the energy that I'm getting in these cards at the moment. But I will, yeah, it makes sense to me. So at the start, my intuition was just telling me this, that people are making very, very, big decisions, important decisions. Interesting. Bottom of the deck here, King of Pentacles. But yeah, people are making some really, really big decisions. It's like, short-term pain for the long-term gain. And it's about your needing to really sacrifice during this time. And I feel like in this current space, I feel like during this time, people might feel like it's sort of like towards the end, coming towards, we're at November time anyway, but coming towards December time, people are being very, very sort of like down tooling during this time. And it's not because of anything like negative, but understanding that it's a strategy that they need to be doing in this current time with the 7 of Swords, because you got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and it's a case of you guys down tooling during this current time, which is the theme. And it's a case of you making these conscious decisions, because when I look at the current situation with the 2 of Swords, it's not making like on the decision is based on making a definitive decision, and you're saying, okay, this current time I'm just going to be a bit more smart with how I spend my money, and it's you just being frugal in this current time, and you're just being smart, you're being very economical around this time, because perhaps my intuition is saying that you are feeling slightly of the pressure, and if you spend more, you're saying to yourself, I'm gonna increase that pressure when I don't need to, and you're going to take action on that, of basically saying, you know what, I need to sort of cut my budget into half. Because I always have this thing where, if I can't spend something for free, for like 3 times over, then I will say I'm technically broke. But that's just me. But I'm just saying it for you guys. You're looking into the point of view, like, could you really just wait for another couple of months until you have more of the abundance regarding like with finances, and you have more of a financial freedom, and you understand that it's just a personal, like currently, it's just for you to alleviate the pressures and the struggles that's currently going on. And your challenge right now is that, you've got the King of Swords, you've got the King of Swords, and it's you making that black and white, action, and saying, this is what I've got to do, sort of in that masculine role, and saying, it's not, I'm not saying this for like men and women, I'm just saying from a masculine point of view, where it's that rationale, I'm making this rational decision, and even though, I've got the Magician, where, I want to basically become, I'm going to manifest all of these things and just wait during this current time, and at the end of the day, like, you're just thinking about the short-term pain for the long-term gain, and that's absolutely fine, because at the end of the day, you're just being really smart during November and December time. I think you're looking at your budget and you're saying to yourself, you know what, XYZ don't need this at this current time. They can do with, I don't know, with just, just a gift, and something that's really nice and sweet. I don't have to go over extravagant when it comes to gifts anyway. The essence of Christmas should be about, if you are celebrating Christmas, is that togetherness, being with family, and knowing that you're fortunate to be around these people that you're loved, and you got food and that you're cared for, as opposed to people who are like, who don't have that, And at the bottom of the deck, it's about you basically understanding that it's you being a bit more sort of like saying to yourself, any sort of decisions when it comes to like major decisions, I'm just going to take a step back with the Six of Swords, because I think your thing with the clarifier being the clarification card being the Hermit, it's about you actually taking, that that mindset of just saying that can just wait, just hold on a minute, like hold on a couple of weeks, maybe I can get XYZ in a couple of weeks when I get that extra pay, or I could do a couple more hours, or you're even retrospecting these certain elements in your life and saying, is this something that I can have now immediately, or can it wait? Or can I get that? Should I get like should I really get a crate of beers as opposed to having, like, I don't know, like should I really need should I have those crate of beers, or can I just have like 4? So it's all about you really being spenny during this current time, And then in the past, it's about you acknowledging that this is a case of you're looking at it from a bigger spectrum, a broader spectrum, and you're saying currently, I still have this goal, or I still have to think about the area in my life that are a little bit more important, which I'm prioritizing, and that's a case of your house, the rent that you have to pay, the bills, etc. But you understand that. I think this comes from a very logical train of thought, and I think you're looking at it from that you're not going to get you're not going to get into overspending, because you realize the area that you are right the area that you are right now, and it's not wise to do so. And you're guided using your intuition, with the Empress. And I think it's a case of you knowing that, you have everything anyway. You have everything. And that's cool. I mean, that's amazing. Knowing that you already have everything. It's just, everything now is just going to be excessive, plus more. And when you know all of these things, that's when you're in a sense where you feel, you're in control of your situation. Do you know what I mean? The crowning moment, I see you're more focused on a role of taking care of people through an emotional support. I see you being the page of Pentacles as the person that will communicate, share that love, or support your friends. And also the page, for me, it's sort of like you're looking at everything in terms of like, being frugal and asking yourself, is the juice worth the squeeze? And if the juice ain't worth the squeeze, then you're not going to be spending X, Y, Z. You're going to take more of a approach of love and support regarding from November to December. And I think what's advised through the reading is for you to focus more on emotional support and check in your friend. Check in your mates or a family member they haven't spoken to in a while. It's time for you to speak, catch up. Why not? Christmas is like, around the corner. Even if you're not celebrating Christmas, holidays, right? In your incoming future, right now is about, I see the World card, in reverse, followed by the Ace of Pentacles. And for me, my intuition is telling me, as I said, that, it's a case of it's not you going to traveling. I think this is a case of you understanding that you are a time of trying to look after your resources, and this is more so a time for you to be, taking your time. The World card is very fluid. The world always goes round, and it's a case for you to basically sit tight and be a bit more static rather than being or rigid rather than being fluid. And that's okay, because in this moment it makes sense, because you're practically being more financially intelligent, during the coming months, 2 months that it is. And this is just you protecting yourself from any sort of pressures, as you should. You should always protect yourself at all times. You should always do. And I think with yourself, as again, you've got the Four of Swords in your self position, and that's basically you actually just rested. You taking your time, sitting, laying down, and analyzing what you're doing. And Source is advising you in this current time basically to use creative ways or find creative outlets for you to keep yourself entertained, to keep yourself sort of like mentally in check, to keep yourself in a situation where you feel like you are finding yourself, that substance, feeling that substance that you perhaps what's best for you right now is to go into your house and write in your journal, or watch a film. Find creative ways for you to be stimulated in this current time, and let me just get a clarifier for that. Yeah. And don't see this, don't get in your head about the situation, don't see it as something that you're missing out on. And if you obsess on you're getting FOMO, failure of missing out, then you're not looking at the fundamental thing, which is basically finding ways to keep yourself entertained, and you can use that time to be creative rather than really look at it from a toxic point of view where you're really obsessed and really angry with yourself that you're not in a position to do so. If you're not in a position to do so, then you shouldn't be doing so in the first place regarding your finances, you know? The people around you, you'll be fine. The people around you understand in this current time with the King of Cups. Let me just see if I can get that on a, there you go. King of Cups. That you're going through a situation where you feel like they understand the situation that you are, and it's a case of them knowing that you're not going to go all out partying. And I think you should really look out for the people that understand that, and they would know that if they really understand the situation, they're really like, they're your real ones, they're your mates, they're your friends, they are the ones that will just support you during this time, you know. And even if it's something that you can only give them a card or a little present within a budget, and they love it as if you gave them a Lamborghini, I'm just saying, then they're your mates, they're your real ones. And during this time, sources saying with your hopes and fears is to basically to look at the finer details in this current time of your finances, which is why it makes sense for you to be frugal. Look through your budget, look through all of these things that, you know, maybe you're overspending, maybe you forgot, maybe just maybe you forgot to end a particular gym contract that you're not even using it anymore, or perhaps it's a bill that you keep on having without you actually spending, you know, you using it. For example, perhaps you're not using, I don't know, Spotify, and then now you're using Apple Music, and you're only using one of them, but you're paying for two. Now's the time for you to be in your smarts and use that time as it is to basically remove anything that could be too, like in terms of your finances, that could just weigh you down. It's about you looking in within your finances and being honest. Am I overspending? Do I really need to pay for these red bottom shoes? You know, or am I just basically understanding that I need to learn more about my financial literacy? You know, this is the time for you to do so, and it's a empowering feeling. That feeling of empowerment. You will feel empowered once you learn all of these things regarding like finances. I think it's going to give you more of a character building thing, and it's going to put you to good stead in the future. Because in the outcome, I said before, like before I even put the outcome out here, I said that it's short-term pain to long-term pain to long-term gain, right? So you got short-term pain, long-term gain. And you've got the King of Pentacles, and this is basically you in a period in your life. And this is after like the end of December. You feeling more abundant. You feeling that you can expand on this. And I feel like it's you understanding that you've basically now are able to be in a position where you're a lot more abundant, where there's an element of financial freedom, or you've alleviated the stress that you can just sit down and just relax. Do you know what I mean? So it's a case of you just understanding that all of this came through you looking through and actually taking the responsibility and being accountable and saying, you know what, I must do this, I must do that, I must be a bit more stringent with how I spend. And if anybody else can't understand it, then they're not my mates. You know, there's so much pressure in the world, but you've gone through this process as it is, and not only you're in a position where you can pay for what you want to pay for. You've got more of an easier life as it is in the previous months. Then now you're in that power play of saying, you know what, I don't actually really need to, but you know what, I can use this time to invest my money. Or you know what, perhaps I really realized I don't really need it, and it was just a case of me during that time that I just felt like it was an impulse thing. And it's you learning, you growing from from not just being a person, but you growing into the essence of the King of Pentacles, you know, and you having more of that. I know it's with the King of Pentacles is having the choice of celebrating if you want to, you know, and you having the experience of learning through these things through the King of Pentacles. It's that essence of you. They're both masculine energies, and it comes through your rational thoughts and you being able to make judgments not through an emotional feeling, but rather through a practical feeling. And you should be proud of yourself when you do so. But yes, I hope you like that reading. Love, peace, and light. It's cool to be kind. The Sorcerer.
Sorcerer.